Welcome to Cox San Diego Connection. I'm your host, Jeff Powers. Today we're talking about Cox and this company's involvement in the community. Not only as a cable provider, but also we're going to look at the important programs Cox is spearheading in San Diego. Joining us to talk about these programs is the Vice President of Cox Communications, Dave Bialas. Thanks for being here, Dave.
Thank you.
Nice to see you. Yeah, nice to see you. Cox, obviously a privately held company, but with an extremely public face. Opportunity to help so many customers, both at home and in the community. Can you talk about the synergy of Cox in San Diego?
Yeah, first of all, we've been in San Diego for 50 years. So the legacy is long and precedes me of community involvement. Our company is over 100 years old and was started by James Cox, who's a school teacher. And believe it or not, the great-grandson is involved in the company. So that family is woven through our DNA, and so we take it seriously that we are a family company, and therefore it kind of leads us to be more active in the community. It's kind of a word you hear all the time, but it is a core value of our company. And the other thing is they really value localism. So they let the local leaders here decide the best places to give based on where you live and the needs of the community. So it's a great model.
Talk about those community efforts and the number of different activities that employees here are involved in, and your company, of course.
There's a lot. I mean, we try to be strategic because there's so many needs. Mm-hmm. We do focus because we're in the business of internet and internet safety and literacy, and also providing to those who can't afford it. We have a program. But we're also very involved with kids and youth, with the Boys and Girls Clubs, as well as some work in the military. Those go all hand in hand, and we have lots of ways of doing that with our employees.
2 years ago, Cox started Connect to Compete. Mm-hmm. Can you talk about that important program? Yeah,
there's quite a few families who can't afford the internet or don't have a computer.
28% in San Diego don't have internet. Yeah.
Or computers, or even know how to work it. And today, if you don't have an internet connection, you can't find a job, you can't take tests, things like that. So we have a program, it's national, called Connect to Compete, and we provide a discounted service as well as discounted computers and training. And it's been very successful, more than 5,000 families. We've been, I think it covers 400 schools and 25 school districts. We do events. Very, very, very successful. The districts love it. I think the requirement is you have to be on a free lunch program. Mm-hmm. But there's a need, and we're meeting that need very well.
Education always a big part of Cox and the community. I think it was 51 seniors have been given scholarships through the foundation just in the last year alone through Cox and their efforts. That's a pretty remarkable number.
Yeah, let me talk probably about let me talk about the thing that probably we have most pride in, which is Cox Cares. Yeah. It's the foundation. It's all employees, so they give through payroll deduction. 60% of our employees give, and then they have their own advisory board, and they really decide where the money gets distributed. Cox matches whatever's given, so it's a healthy sum. But one of the big recipients are high school seniors, and we have a Cox Scholars Program. And I don't know how many over the years, hundreds and hundreds of people have received $1,000, $2,000, $5,000 scholarships. It's a great day when we do it, and that's just one of many in the Cox Cares Foundation.
So all valuable companies recognize that it starts and ends with its people, and Cox is no different in that respect. And it's remarkable how many Cox employees volunteer for the various programs that Cox supports and is involved in. Is that something that's a big core value here? I'm sure it is.
Yeah, we provide 8 hours a year and probably more to any employee who wants to volunteer. And then we have the Cox Cares Obvious Foundation. But we spend thousands of hours in the community, and it's our employees. And it's actually one of the core values is for our employees. It's great for the community, but a lot of employees don't know how to give. And when they do, they feel better about themselves and they feel better about the company. So it's a win-win, and the employees actually really love it.
As the vice president, when you hear the stories of employees and what they're doing in the community, it's got to make you feel good, doesn't it?
Well, there's no better, you know, we're busy. We're in a very competitive business, and we get caught up, and then there'll be a day where we do something in the community, a Boys and Girls Club, whether it's a technology center, a cleanup at the beach, Habitat for Humanity, building a home, going to a food bank. And when we walk away, we all kind of huddle, and we say, you know, we need to get more perspective. This is really what matters, and it really connects all of our people together. And I think we just have an obligation. There's a lot of needs. We're a successful company. We have great people. Why not?
When we come back, the USS Midway, the County Office of Education, and Winston Churchill, why all three connect to Cox. We'll be right back.
At Cox Communications, we're not just giving back. We're investing in our future by opening doors of opportunity and expanding the learning potential for thousands of students. For decades, Cox and the Cox Cares Foundation have supported education throughout Southern California through scholarships, nonprofit grants to help educate children, support for our teachers, and by providing computers and internet access to students and families. For more information on Cox's community involvement, visit cox-cares.org.
The San Diego Regional Chamber of Commerce invites your business to join the Chamber Computer Challenge by donating your used computers.
Recycle and donate your computer today or pledge a future donation.
Computers to San Diego Kids will refurbish them for low-income families.
Your donation will help kids like us realize their dreams.
Respond to the challenge here.
Every day, we're inspired by students' passion for learning and their desire to pursue higher education. That's why Cox Communications and its employees award over $75,000 in scholarships to our Cox Scholars. Cox Cares Scholars are selected from San Diego County for their ability to succeed despite adversity.
I will be paying my way through college myself, so it's pretty nice to get a scholarship to help me focus a little bit more on academics and less on how I'm going to pay for academics.
Congratulations, Cox Scholars. We wish you great success.
And welcome back. We're talking with the Vice President of Cox Communications, Dave Bialas, and one of the important programs that Cox has been a part of for so many years is Salute to Teachers. It honors the great work done by so many of the teachers in our community. Hard to believe, but next year, Cox will celebrate 25 years producing the event. And it is a big event for a lot of really fantastic people in this community.
Yeah, we do an annual show. It's about 2 hours, and through the County of Education, they, through their processes, nominate 20 teachers, and we get it down to 5. And they all come to the Balboa Theater, and it's live, which is in itself a very unusual challenge. And then we obviously show it on tape. And you know, it's that's one of those days where you feel proud. Because these teachers are phenomenal, and you hear their stories. The other thing we do is we go and we video kids, and during the show they'll talk about, you know, their teachers and why they're special. And there's really no show like it in the country that dedicates that kind of time and commitment to teachers, and they love it. They come dressed up. It's their Oscar night.
It's a big deal.
It's a big deal.
It is a
it's
big
their
deal.
Oscar
it's the Academy
night.
Awards for Education, right?
Yeah. And we eventually end up with 5 Teachers of the Year, and it's a great evening. It's live, and we've done it now 24 years. Next year will be our 25th anniversary, and we have truly a great partnership with all our school districts.
Something I didn't know is that Cox is deeply involved with the USS Midway. I was not aware of this, and it's impressive. It's giving a $1.5 million award for education programs. Yeah. It's important, isn't it?
So one of our themes has been education, and there's a military element here, and there's also science and technology, and they all happen to be over there on Harbor Boulevard at the Midway. But there's a history here that's kind of phenomenal, and a connection, which is James Cox had 2 daughters. One of them was Barbara Cox. Her husband had died in the war, a pilot, and I think James Cox might have been a congressman. So she was 21 years old when the Midway was initiated in 1945, and Barbara Cox, who is the daughter of our founder, christened the USS Midway. So the connection there. Now, years ago,
Wow.
when they started doing education programs, we spent a lot of money equipping the facility and having fiber optics come in. So this year we just felt that it was time to put some money back in the community, and our company foundation donated $1.5 million. Our owner, he was the, I guess, grandson, it's all part of the family, came out and did a great job. And when he was talking about it, he teared up. It was his mom who has passed and was talking about the christening. So it's for overnight education. I don't think people realize 45,000 kids.
Talk about what the program is.
The Midway is phenomenal,
It
actually.
is, yeah.
Besides
No
just
question.
tourism, 45,000 kids, many of them who have never seen the ocean, come to the Midway and spend a day as a field trip or half a day learning about the history, the ship, technology, everything about it. But they also have an overnight program where they sleep overnight with their parents, and that's what we're helping to help build. And it really is a great partnership we've had since 1945.
You are fond of Sir Winston Churchill.
Yeah, I would recommend anyone Google Winston Churchill quotes.
Yeah, and one of them you love to say.
I've said this for a year. Make a living by what you get, and make a life by what you give. And it's how he twisted words, but they're very simply said. And we love working. It's a great career, but by what you give is more important, and that's really the life we're trying to help in terms of the community and our employees. And he said it well, and we're very proud of being here in San Diego and in Southern California and the community. We can't talk enough about it. So I thank you for asking such good questions about it.
Well, what more about yourself? I mean, you were here in San Diego, and you love this community, and left and came back, and to be a part of this community and have such a vital role in all these different programs, it must be a great feeling for you.
Well, it is, but honestly, and I always say this when I'm having to give a talk or a speech, which is, and every time I do it, I thank our company, because honestly, it's the company resources. The company allows me to go out and volunteer to be on boards. It allows me to recruit people and employees and work out and pay them for working. So really, the company enables all of us to do what we do. Sure, it's rewarding for me, it's rewarding for our employees, but it's not bigger than the Cox brand and the Cox name, and that's really what we really enjoy, because that's what's going to last.
Thanks for coming.
Thanks for having me.
Coming up next, we're talking with Danny Sherlock from the Boys and Girls Clubs of Greater San Diego County.
Do your children have what they need to succeed in school? Students with a computer and internet at home have a higher graduation rate than those without. And while more teachers assign homework online, having internet access at home is critical to the education and future of our youth. If your child is part of the National School Lunch Program and you have not had Cox Internet, you may qualify for the Connect to Compete program to get discounted internet service. Call 855-222-3252 or visit connecttocompete.org/Cox to apply.
Cox is proud to support Junior Achievement San Diego and the more than 14,000 students served through J.A. BizTown each year. J.A. BizTown uses hands-on activities and real-life situations to inspire students to succeed in today's world. And part of today's world includes practicing safe online behavior. Cox Communications invites you to take charge of your family's digital life by visiting cox.com/takecharge for resources and tips on how you can protect your family's online safety.
In 1945, Navy widow Barbara Cox christened the USS Midway, which served America for 47 years. Today, 45,000 students a year participate in field trips and educational programs through Midway University. USS Midway Museum salutes Cox Communications and the James M. Cox Foundation for a $1.5 million grant to expand Midway's educational programs as they build a bridge between the greatest generation and America's future generations.
Welcome back to Cox San Diego Connection. Our next guest is Danny Sherlock. Danny, as you may well know, is the president of the Boys and Girls Clubs of Greater San Diego County. Thanks for being here, Danny.
Thank you.
Good to see you.
Yeah.
The internet is such a big part of your clubs and so many young kids at the Boys and Girls Clubs, how important is safety at your facilities?
It's extremely important. As a matter of fact, we go overboard to try to make sure that we don't have issues related to children using the internet inappropriately.
How does working with Cox go about ensuring that safety is there for the kids?
Well, I think first of all, it's ensuring you have the technology in the first place, because obviously not only is it expensive, but the other issue is it outdates itself very quickly. So having the proper equipment, up-to-date equipment, is very, very important. Secondly, having types of programs where you can give orientation to young people on how to use and how not to use the internet and how to use the computers, I think is very, very important.
Cox is a national partner of the Boys and Girls Clubs, and of course it's a huge local connection as well. How are they integrated?
Well, I think from a national standpoint, people have an awareness that Cox and Boys and Girls Clubs of America are associated with each other, but I think where it really plays out is on a local level. For example, here in San Diego County, the Cox organization has been very supportive of the Boys and Girls Club. In the last 2 years, we've received 2 technology centers, and these are kind of soup to nuts facilities for young people with all of the computers and peripherals that are necessary to be successful. And so we have one of those in our National City site and one of them in our Logan Heights location now, thanks to Cox Communications.
How is it integrated? I mean, you're talking about technology and sort of Boys and Girls Clubs. How do you guys integrate that new technology, specifically for the kids?
Well, I've seen a lot of changes over the years. You know, originally the type of software available to the children was pretty limited. There are 3 priority outcomes of Boys and Girls Clubs of America and of our local club: academic achievement, healthy lifestyles, and character development. Well, for the academic achievement side, there's so many more things that we can do. There's so many more literacy programs that we can do. There's so many more interactive programs that children can learn from that aren't more rote, but that are actually fun and interesting and exciting, that they can use the computer. Also, it's become a part of the daily life of many children in school, and while they have access to technology at school, they may not at their house. And so by having the Boys and Girls Club, they can continue, they can come to the club, do their homework, they can do research for papers, those types of things.
It really seems like it has become sort of this place for kids to go. Has there been sort of a resurgence in the Boys and Girls Clubs in terms of the influence that they're having on these young men and women and these young boys and girls, and kind of how they are a part of this nuclear family for these kids?
I think I've been with Boys and Girls Clubs forever, since 1973. Obviously, I've seen a lot of changes over the years. When I first started my career, it was mostly boys only. It wasn't a Boys and Girls organization. The boy might jump on his bicycle and ride to the club and spend a few hours and go home for lunch because mom was a stay-at-home mom and made lunch for him, and then he'd come back in the afternoon and be with his buddies again. Obviously, lots of that scenario have changed. We have a lot of single-parent families where mom or dad is working. We have situations where both parents have to work to make ends meet. The children who come to the club usually come and stay the entire length of duration of time. There are issues with kids wandering around on the streets. There are issues with children trying to get from home or from school to their local Boys and Girls Club. So transportation is an issue that wasn't an issue many years ago. In addition, the expectations of families, and rightly so, is that the club enhances the educational experience for the child, and obviously is a safe, very, very safe place for children to go. So a parent feels that from the time the Boys and Girls Club receives their child until the end of the day, whatever time that might be, to pick up the child, that they have a safe place that they're in, that they're getting mentorship from positive adults, and that they're learning things that are going to help them down the road.
Back to the safety component. And bullying is such a big part of the talk nowadays with school, and cyberbullying is even a critical issue as well. Cox helping Boys and Girls Clubs prevent cyberbullying?
We do have a program, it's called Be a Hero, and it's an anti-bullying program. There is an element to it that is anti-cyberbullying. I think the biggest piece for young people is to teach them that they're part of the solution. I think they feel powerless sometimes when someone bullies, and even if you're not the one being bullied, you feel like, gee, maybe I shouldn't get involved, maybe I should keep my mouth shut, I should stay out of it, etc. And I think by the children knowing that they have strength in numbers and that they can speak up and that they can stop bullying, I think that's really a key. And so we actually once a month have a special group meeting of all the kids in the club, and we have a theme for that day, and it's devoted to the particular type of bullying and how to prevent it. And so again, cyberbullying is a major issue, and it's something that we deal with in that program.
New Tech Center in Logan Heights opened in September.
Yes.
How is that helping? How's it going?
It's fantastic. The building that it's in is the William Jokes branch. It was built in 1941.
Wow.
And it was opened in 1942. And so talk about
character.
Yeah, it has a lot of character to it, but talk about absolutely
great character.
Absolutely retrofitting something from what originally intent was to what it is today. It's amazing. Not only did we have the financial support of Cox, but we also had the involvement in Cox employees. They actually came in. They helped us retrofit the rooms that the tech center in. They painted. We had them come to the grand opening, and they were very pleased, and we were very pleased with the results. And that was part of the local hands-on, I think, between Boys and Girls Club and Cox. It's not just a national organization saying, oh, this is a great idea, do this, but it's actually physically interacting with the Cox organization and the Boys and Girls Club.
A lot of volunteerism.
We absolutely have to rely on that. Now, for serving the children, we have to have paid staff there at all times, but really the enhancement of all that is the volunteers, and we appreciate them.
Danny Sherlock, pleasure to see you again.
Good to see you too, Jeff.
Yeah, nice to see you. Thanks for coming by.
Okay.
Coming up next, Cox Communications and volunteerism, as we just talked about, helping those who help the community. And we'll chat with Lori Filer, the Executive Director for Habitat for Humanity, and Beige Rivera. She's an employee of Cox. We'll be right back.
Cox Communications and San Diego Habitat for Humanity have joined forces on Habitat's first Building for the Brave community in Lakeside. This community will serve those who have served us by providing affordable homes for disabled veterans and their families. The homes will be equipped with state-of-the-art furnishings adapted to the special needs of the veterans and will be sold to the families through a 0% mortgage. Cox Communications and all of our sponsors are proud to support Habitat for Humanity's Building for the Brave program.
Join Cox and Kixie 96.5 for Holiday of Miracles benefiting Rady Children's Hospital, San Diego.
Your gift will make a difference all year long.
Stop by any Cox Solution store to donate a new or unwrapped toy or visit cox-cares.org for more information.
Together, we can give the true gift of making miracles happen this season.
Happy Holidays from Cox and Kixie 96.5.
Cox Communications is proud to support the communities we serve. The James M. Cox Foundation and Cox have awarded a total of $300,000 in technology grants to 12 Boys and Girls Club of America locations, including San Diego and Orange County. Each location has received $25,000 for their computer centers. Cox is committed to bridging the digital divide and providing broadband access to all.
Welcome back to Cox San Diego Connection. We're here with Lori Filer. She's the Executive Director for Habitat for Humanity, and Beige Rivera. She's a Customer Advocate Supervisor for Cox Communications. Welcome, both of you. Nice to have you here.
Glad to be here. Thank you.
Lori, let's start with you. Habitat for Humanity and Cox have partnered on a number of projects in the community, particularly one, Building for the Brave project, helping families from the military. Can you talk about that?
I sure can. We have 4 homes in Lakeside that we're building exclusively for wounded veterans, so we can kind of tailor the home if they have some special needs. But we also believe that there are veterans in San Diego County and they need homes because the most important thing you can have is a home that you can call your own, and that's what we have.
Cox employees have been a big part of that. They've had over 500 employees just in the last year help Habitat for Humanity. You're one of those, Beige, and you've been deeply involved in the projects. Why do you get involved in Habitat for Humanity and helping these families call a place home?
I feel with Habitat that I really like their investment in the community. I like their mission. I like that it's not simply a handout, that everybody's working and putting sweat equity into these homes and really earning and really being part of the community and really investing in the community so that when they are in that home, they feel ready to give back.
That sweat equity, what kinds of things do you do when you're assisting and helping out?
I think by now I am probably master at digging holes. I have been, I have dug fence post holes, I have dug retaining wall holes, I have dug tree holes. So definitely I think my area of expertise right now working with Habitat is digging holes.
You've got that down.
Down, absolutely.
Down. Each home area is 1,500 square feet approximately.
Just about, yeah,
so
yeah.
These aren't small homes, these are nice sized homes.
Right, yeah, it's a simple, decent home. It makes sense for the family. And Beige makes a good point that is so critical. We could not do this without volunteers, and it doesn't matter what needs to be done, it has to be done. Whether it's digging holes or laying bricks or laying tile or hanging drywall, we only have one superintendent on the job, and you show up on the site and there's like 1,000,000 pieces of the puzzle laying there on the ground, and you just have to pick up one and put it on the house. And so by the luck of the draw, you've been digging ditches.
Really good at it.
All right.
You know, since 1988, Habitat's built some 200 homes in the community.
Yes.
What a remarkable and important investment. Can you talk about the dedication that your group has had?
Well, you're building homes for families, and those 200 families have changed their life for a generation. And as Beige has said, it's a hand up, and they've worked on their home. And when you have the opportunity to work on your home and work with your fellow neighbors too, you've created a neighborhood, and you're paying attention to your neighborhood, and then you're also paying attention to the community. So when we think about San Diego County or just a city, Lakeside, wherever you are, you're paying attention to what is happening in your community. So you've helped yourself with other people.
Can you talk about the volunteerism and how important that is a little bit more?
We have to have 15 people a day. 15 people. We have to have 15 people a day show up, or that house doesn't get built.
Every day?
Every single day. So we have one superintendent, and he directs those volunteers to get done what needs to get done. And so there's that piece of, there's a real connection that if I volunteer and I've helped someone build their home, I've built community that way, and I've helped my fellow man like I'm supposed to. And then and then I've also bettered myself. At the end of the day, I've learned something new. I've worked with my fellow employees. I've learned about them in a real humane way. I've learned about them and what's important to them.
You know, it's really important too, because it translates to the workplace too. When Cox gets involved in the community and has so many volunteers that work here, it really translates into a better workplace environment, doesn't it?
Oh, absolutely. And you get to meet people. You know, we're scattered across a few different buildings and across a few different departments, so sometimes you talk to people, you have no idea what they look like.
Yeah.
And you get on these sites and you introduce yourself and, oh, I know you, I work with you frequently and we do this. And so going out and seeing them and putting in time together really builds relationships and strengthens existing relationships for teams who go out and do it as a team activity or for just, you know, across departments.
You see that too on work sites?
Yes.
When corporations and businesses work together?
It happens all the time. There's been executive teams that have come out that are brand new, and they're just trying to bring themselves together and get to know one another at a different level. And what's interesting is that most often no one knows how to do anything. So you're all on an equal footing. It doesn't matter what your role is back at Cox or back at the company. Today we're just learning how to dig holes or lay tile or whatever it is.
What is on the horizon for Habitat for Humanity?
So we're continuing. We have 11 homes in Escondido, 6 in Imperial Beach, and 6 in El Cajon that are, you know, either in the midst of working, or you've worked on the 3rd Street rehabilitation. So we have lots of opportunities. It takes about 7,500 volunteers to keep our work going, so that's a huge commitment.
That is a huge commitment. Thank you for joining us today. Appreciate you both being with us. Lori Filer and Bays Rivera, great to see you.
Thank you for having us.
Thanks for sharing your stories. Appreciate it. That is it. Thank you for watching our Cox San Diego Connection program. I'm Jeff Powers. We'll see you next time.